Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Out of the Park Developments channel. My name is Alex Murray, also known as AZ Axel, and today is going to be week 2, game 2s for the Backyard Project here on the Science Saturday stream. Thank you everyone for being here. I have to totally agree, Dogberry. That Phillips moment still makes me so happy. That is potentially the best moment we've ever had live on a stream. Just picturesque, perfect result for one of our most public or outreaching videos ever. I hope you all are having a fantastic weekend so far. I'm very excited to be here and share with you all game number 2 for week number 2 of the Backyard Project. We're going to be doing another live sim or a real-time simulation. The bot is set up and ready to go, so we have Stats Plus here and all set and ready. And we have a whole bunch of games for you all to be observant for and watching. So I'm going to quickly get some water while I share with you guys our games for the day, because I totally forgot that I'm going to need water for this. So let's head on into our game. Let's just jump right into our scores, and you guys can chat about who you think is going to win out of the Neo's Ark games while I get some water, alright? Alright, let's do that. Alright, water has been got. So, I hope you all are having a fantastic Saturday so far. We have a lot of games to worry about today, and we have an hour and 30 minutes to be able to go through and get them all done. So let me go ahead and bring myself back up on screen here. Oh, by the way, if you guys are not part of our BYP Discord, I would highly recommend that you join our Discord. We have a whole bunch of really cool stuff that gets put up on our Discord, from articles to information, notes, and also now officially bot announcements for games, final box scores, and stuff that happens over the course of the game, such as achievements and major events. So if you want to follow along with our league even more, you will definitely want to be involved with our Discord so you can stay in touch with all of the Backyard Project news. All right, back into our game. Let's get started, shall we? We have a lot of stuff to do today and a lot to talk about. So, Neo's Ark League is going to have, again, every single league has 5 games at this point, and we're going to be seeing the kind koalas and the gnarly goats today. The curious coyotes and the nice nobles are facing off here in game number 4 for the regular season. The frogs and armadillos. Armadillos had a rough day yesterday. They lost to, I believe, one of the one of the teams that hadn't won yet, I believe. Was that the squirrels they lost to yesterday? I don't remember, unfortunately, now. It's been only 24 hours, but guys, I wipe stuff clean of my memory so fast at this point. Either way, the Super Squirrels are taking on the Crazy Cluckers. Cluckers are still winless over the course of the regular season, as are the Nice Nobles, by the way. The Dominating Ducks are going to be taking on the Graceful Giants at home, or on the road, technically. The Rebellious Reapers are going up against the Adorable Apollos, who lost in our game of the day yesterday to the, who was it? The Angry Admirals. The Admirals came back, and I believe it was the bottom of the 7th, with a couple of home runs, I believe. No, was it home runs? Yeah, I think it was homers. And they ended up taking that ball game, I believe, 4-2. So it was a close game yesterday between the Apollos and the Admirals, but the Admirals did take it to keep their undefeated streak so far, as they are 3-0, and they will go up against the Jolly Jazz. They're the one right over here on the right side of the screen. The Ninjas are facing up against the Kings at this point. Both squads have struggled really badly so far this season. We'll see if either of them can bounce back, although the Ninjas did get their first win yesterday and their first home run from Pablo Sanchez. So a good day for them. The Captains and Pioneers are facing off against each other this evening as well. That's a big matchup right there. Shendog and Omar going at it. The Captains have been very good so far. The Pleasant Pioneers have actually really overperformed so far. So we'll see if the Pioneers can keep it up. And then last but not least, at 6:05 p.m. Pacific time tonight, the Clobbering Cacti take on the Witty Whistlers. We will be doing all of these games, guys, live, and there will be, if I can find this link correctly, there will be a real-time simulation page that will actually show when we get into it. So let's go ahead and jump right into our real-time simulation. I'll make sure this is set up and ready to go. I think I've already done that. So we'll go ahead and get this set up, and we're going to pause the sim to make sure this is refreshed, and it'll work, because the last thing I want to do is have it not work on us. I don't know if any of the games have started yet. I think we're still waiting. Make sure it's good. Activated. Yes, and then every single 60 seconds. So our link is going to be this one right here, guys. You can actually watch this live if you'd like to. So you can actually follow along on your own computers with a Stats Plus link that'll let you watch these games every single 60 seconds. It'll be updated. So if you're watching the live broadcast, you probably don't need to do that. But if you want to, you can. And you can actually watch as the bot updates everything live. And then we'll also be having stuff posted, I believe, to our Discord, which will also be updating every so often as well. So let's get started, guys. We have a couple games right off the bat. Looks like we're going to be seeing the Koalas versus the Goats to start off with. So let's get up to our 40 speed, and let's get started. All right, this is Vertigoat for the Goats. And I believe it's Nick Jai for the Koalas. Vertigoat gets to the first inning unscathed. 1 strikeout, no hits, no walks. So a good start for the Goats. Goats are looking to go 4-0 for the regular season, ladies and gentlemen. They have had a phenomenal start so far. Roman a day doubles, puts himself on second. Good start here for the Goats. Full count, but Whitney Singh strikes out. Nick Jai gives up the double, but gets the strikeout to end the inning. The Goats have been one of our best teams so far, and Vertigoat has got 4 strikeouts. Strikes out the side in the top of the second inning. It's going to be a battle of the number 2 aces at this point. Nick Jai rinses and repeats with an 1-2-3 inning in the bottom of the second. So we're going to head to the top of the third. Tebow sacrifices over the runner. They walk Blake Wright. Chance for them to be able to do some scoring here, but Baghetti flies out. Baghetti flies out like he walked so many times last week. I remember that being a huge thing for him. But the Goats do get out of the inning. So 3 innings for Vertigoat after giving up now officially 2 walks. So not good on that. We're heading into the top of the 4th after Nick Jai rinses and repeats in the 3rd inning. Really good job by Nick Jai, limiting the hits and walks a little bit, just a little bit better than Vertigoat right now. Although, we're not going to talk about it yet, but we'll see about it. Strikeout to Roman a day. Goats trying to get something started here in the bottom of the 4th, and they can't. It's going to be a pitcher's duel. Pitcher's duel here in Durham Athletic Park. Our first game of the day is going to be a pitcher's duel. Otterman grounds out. Verdugo, 5 innings. 5 innings. It's looking good so far. Single for the Goats. Runner on first base. Bubba Blossom flies out, though. Knick-knack, paddywhack. Up with a runner on second and third as Yellowstone doubled, and that will score a run on a ground out. Knick-knack, paddywhack gets the ground out. It was a fielder's choice. Well, it's not an RBI because he was out technically. But they will score the run, and we'll see if that's all they need. Oh, it's over. Brenneman is caught stealing second, leaving the runner on third base. A walk to Richard Blast. Oh, man, and a Salvador Perez single ties up the ball game. So Vertigoat blinks just like Nick Jai did. But the no-hitter was going all the way through the 5th inning and into the 6th for Vertigoat. So a very good performance so far from both starters, in fact. As we head into the 7th, Vertigoat will be pushed through to the 7th. We'll see if Alex can do it. Strikes out, strikes out. Nicely done. 7 strikeouts in 7 innings for Alex Vertigoat. He has been very good so far, as we have 2 more games starting on the Sunny Day League side at this point. So we'll watch out the rest of this game from the Koalas and Goats, and you guys can watch the other 2 games, Admirals and Jazz, Reapers and Apollos. Top of the 8th we go. Both Nick Jai and Alex Vertigoat have gone 7 innings, 3 hits, 1 run. Differences are the strikeouts and the walks. So congratulations to both those teams. They've been looking very good as the Apollos jump out to a 2-0 lead against the Reapers. Let's go ahead and slow this down a little bit. We're going a little too fast now. Yellowstone walks for the Goats. Ernie Steele's now officially in, replacing Nick Jai. Vertigoat also got replaced, I believe, in the top of the 8th inning. Fielder's choice for Knick-knack, paddywhack. Chance to be able to score a run here as they have a single for Donuts. Let's see if the Goats can get something. Gonte Robinson strikes out, looking, and it's down to Roman a day. Runners advance on a wild pitch by Steele, though. Let's see if they can get something. No, he strikes out. Roman a day strikes out, And the Goats aren't able to get anything off the Koalas in the bottom of the 8th. Hellerman back out to pitch for the Goats, the closer of the Goats, trying to keep the Koalas at bay. 2 men down, it's up to St. Louis. St. Louis, 1-2, pitch on the way, strikes out looking, and we'll go to the bottom of the 9th. The Koalas love to go extra innings and keep these games close. Interesting. By the way, the Jazz have gone up 1-0 over the Admirals on a sacrifice fly by Norman Corman. Ernie Steele's got 2 men down, gives up a single to Lincoln Osiris, but Bubba Blastum flies out. We will head to extras for the Goats Koalas game. Top of the 10th we go. Hellerman still in to pitch. It'll be Tsunami up first for the Koalas. Hellerman's got to be getting pretty tired here pretty soon. They still have 2 other relief pitchers, though, and I believe one of them is actually Dishnet's character at this point. Tsunami strikes out. Nothing else has happened across the league at this point, guys. Other 2 games had some early game action, but then nothing else. Otterman is up against Hellerman, and he will take a full count walk. Tebow up, but Otterman gets caught stealing second. Tebow in a familiar spot with the go-ahead run on base, but he will strike out here in the 10th. So no magic this time for Tim Tebow. As we go back to the bottom of the 10th, Yellowstone up against what should be Ernie Steele. Yes, it will be Ernie Steele. As the Nobles-Coyotes game will get started right below this one. Ernie Steele working here in the bottom of the 10th inning. Hellerman has 7 strikeouts through her 3 innings of work, guys. Runner on first, 2 men down. Runner advanced on another wild pitch for Ernie Steele. All they need is a single to win this game right here, but Dante Robinson strikes out. Bad strikeout right there. You got to put the ball in play. The Koalas up here in the top of the 10th. Actually, we're going to see Tinkler up here to pitch. The left-handed relief pitcher for the Goats will come in. I believe this is his first appearance ever for Tinkler at this point. And he goes 1-2-3, a perfect 1-2-3 inning for Tinkler. Let's see if the Koalas switch out for a brand new pitcher at this point. We're not going to talk about Garrett Lambert and the Jazz. We're not going to talk about it. Roman Aday flies out. Ernie Steele goes for 4 innings here. Gives up a single to Titus. Whitney Singh up next. Runner on first base. Let's see if they send the runner at all. Striking out, swinging is Whitney Singh. It'll be left to the catcher. Osiris flies out, and we will head to the top of the 12th. More opportunities for the Koalas and Goats to go even longer in these games, guys. Oh my gosh. And that lifetime simulation page should be updating. I can see it's been uploaded 161 different updates at this point, I believe. Runner on second base for the Koalas. They've got a chance. Tinkler's having some problems. They'll intentionally walk Tsunami. 2 men down, though, against Otterman. Otterman, chance to be able to do something about it right here. But he'll ground into a fielder's choice. Is a touch behind? Yeah, it's about 60 seconds behind, I believe, at this point. And the Admirals did break up the no-hitters. We've had 2 no-hitters going so far today. But they will score a run as James McNichol scores in Boudreaux to tie the game up in the 6th inning. Really fast, I'm just going to slow this down really quick so I can keep up with stuff at this point. So the Goats are here in the bottom of the 12th. Chance to be able to win the game. Paco Mann is in for the Koalas as their 3rd relief pitcher. At this point, the Nobles have taken a 2-run lead on a Star Moonbeam home run and a wild pitch scoring Frank as they lead the Coyotes 2-0 in the bottom of the 3rd. And then the Jazz and Reapers have been 2-0 since the 1st inning, and they are in the top of the 6th at this point. Knick-knack, paddywhack steals second base. Goats have a chance right here. Runners on first and second. Paco Mann pitching to Dante Robinson, who is 0 for 5 for the game. He's been in this situation before. He singles to load the bases. There is nowhere to put people, and Roman Aday has the winning walk-off chance here for the Goats. Are they going to walk him? 3-0 pitch on the way. 3-1 pitch. They get a strike in there, and it is a single for Roman Aday. The Goats take the victory in 12 innings. And Tinkler will be awarded the win. Paco Mann gets the loss. Knick-knack paddywhack scores on the single by the Goats. The Goats will move to 4-0 for the regular season. Congratulations to the GOATs. Oh, man, that game took forever, guys. Forever. Woof. Fuller wiggled out of a jam. Yes, he did. The Apollos have been keeping the Reapers quite quiet over there at this point. Garrett Lambert's had a good performance. Look at all these top pitching performances, guys. Nick Jai, Alex Vertigo, Rex Fuller, Garrett Lambert, and even Barry McDinkleberry have had very solid performances. As Cyrus Bell hits a 2-run homer, the Captains and Pioneers have started their game. They're down here, guys. My apologies. We'll get them up here pretty soon. The Captains take a 2-run lead in the top of the first with a Cyrus Bell 2-run homer. As we see a couple of these games getting somewhat close to their end at this point. The Reapers have a chance to score some runs here in the top of the 7th. They won't get it, though, unfortunately. It's still 2-0. The shutout still heading in. As Garrett Lambert has finished 8 innings for the Jazz. The Jazz are looking for their first win of the regular season, guys, as they are still, unfortunately, tied with the Admirals, who are 2-1 for the regular season at this point. Willie Hayes singles for the Kings. The Ninjas and Kings game is also going live at this point. My apologies about their game. We'll get to them very soon here. The Apollos have a chance to score more runs here in the bottom of the 7th. Bases are loaded. 3-0 pitch on the way to Valor. This is the top of the order for the Apollos. This is a bad spot for the Reapers. Single for Valor. And Elwood Hayes hits a solo homer in the top of the 9th inning for the Admirals. They are taking their 2-1 lead potentially into the bottom. And now it's a 4-1 lead as Tom Warner hits a homer. And the Apollos have unleashed. Wheeler triples in 2 runs. Nagasawa singled in Wheeler, and Stan Olafson hit a homer. And the Admirals are hitting homers now out the wazoo at this point. Hayes, Warner, and Bellows. A 5-1 lead for the Admirals and a 9-0 lead for the Apollos. Ouch. The Coyotes scored a run. I don't even know how. Let me see if I can find it really fast. A triple. Was that a triple by Joe Unknown? Scored a run there for the Curious Coyotes, and they are still down, though, 2-1, as Used Chicken has been, well, he was doing pretty well until that double by Duncan Idaho scored both Mel and Dogberry, and the Coyotes are going to continue as Chris Jardine singles in Idaho. It's now 4-2 Coyotes. By the way, the Admirals game was finalized. It'll be a 5-1 victory for the Admirals. Bosworth gets the win, her first of the season. Lambert gets the loss. Even though he was doing so well, he did try to go into the 9th inning, and that was a bad call by the Jazz, unfortunately. So the Jazz are 0-4 for the regular season. Eat, Pray, Love hits a 3-run homer for the Captains. Pete Wheeler hits a 2-run homer for the Apollos. Pete Wheeler's having a day now, 3 for 5 with a triple, home run, and a single, so a double away from the cycle is Pete Wheeler. 6 RBIs, and the Apollos have unloaded on the Reapers at this point. Stan Olafson hits a solo homer, and it's 12-0. Paul Goldschmidt hits a grand slam. Oh, the boos can rain down from chat, but you can't prevent home runs. Olafson has 2 homers in his game. Paul Goldschmidt hits a grand slam to give the Nobles a 6-4 lead, and then Huey Lewis hits a solo homer to make it a 7-4 lead. Nick Castellanos has given the Kings a 2-1 lead of a solo homer. Frank Estero adds another one. This is the one game we're not able to see right now, guys. It's down here. We'll see it in a second here. And Vegetable grounds into a double play, scoring Swanson for the Pioneers as they finally get the shutout removed at least. 2 outs here for the Reapers. Last chance to avoid a shutout. Desconocido will get the close at this point. I know my voice is dying, unfortunately. But the Apollos will take the, 12-0 victory over the Reapers. Poor Reapers, not looking good at all. Benito Samuels hits a homer for the Ninjas to bring this game to 3-2. The Captain score on a sacrifice fly by Bob Thunder Soaring Sangstez. Cyrus Bell hits another home run. Another 2-run shot for Cyrus Bell. He's 3 for 3 for the Captains as they now lead 8-1. Here's the offense we were missing, guys. Here's all the offense we were missing. Good grief. Cyrus Bell hits a 2-run homer, his second 2-run homer of the game, and the Captains are off to a very good start here in the 4th inning as they will close up the top of the 4th. The Kings still have their 3-2 lead over the Ninjas, as they will close out their bottom of the 5th at this point. And then the Nobles, looking for their first win of the regular season, have put out Luann Louie to close out this ball game. It's 7-4 for the Nobles, and Luann Louie, I mean, I'm not going to try to jinx her, but she is one of the best closers in this game, guys. So when the Nobles have a lead, it's going to be tough to take down Luann Louie. Mike Loggins Jr. has doubled in Mick Glove for the Captains as they now lead 9-1. So the Captains' offense has roared to life much like the Apollos did. Although Luann Louie is the Coyotes closer. My apologies. The Nobles are up to bat against Luann Louie, and a couple of walks has loaded the bases at this point. I don't know who the Nobles closer is, to be honest. Presley, that's who it is. Presley. The person bringing snacks for the league next week in the close here in the top of the 9th inning. Ryan Presley going 8-9, hopefully. Gets Maya Woodruff to fly out. This would be the first win for the regular season for the Nobles. It would be a big one against the Coyotes, too. Benson strikes out, and it's down to Mel. Mel will strike out, and it'll be a win for the Nobles. The Nobles get their first win of the regular season. Fernando Tatis, by the way, has hit a solo homer in the top of the 1st for the Squirrels. And a good job for Fernando Tatis to come back from the ejection or the putting in timeout that his mom had to do yesterday, unfortunately. Peter Slammer hits a sacrifice fly scoring Chico Pappas for the Frogs against the Armadillos in the top of the 1st. And Samuel Middleton has tied up the ball game for the Ninjas. Wow. So the 2 games in the 7th inning are on the right side of your screens. Jay Green hits a 2-run homer for the Cluckers, so the red teams, the red barnyard teams, are going at it, Squirrels and Cluckers. And then Buster Posey has hit a homer in the top of the 7th for the Captains, just to make it double digits, guys. Just for the double-digit number at this point. They have to. So the Cluckers take the 2-1 lead. I think are the Cluckers the only other team at this point that hasn't won a ball game? Because the Nobles win, they move to 1-3. I believe the Cluckers are 0-3. They're right, the Kings. The Kings would need to win as well. I mean, get rid of, I think, most of our winless clubs at this point. Thomas Sangstes has singled in Mick Glove for the Captains. It's now 11-1 over there. The Kings are looking for their first win as well as, I believe, the Cluckers at this point. They're still tied, however, 3-3 as they are in the bottom of the 8th. Angelique Harding into pitch. I believe this is the Ninjas' closer, too. James walks. Bubba Ray Jones, the 8th, is up to bat. Chance to maybe get something started here for the Kings, but he will ground into a double play and end the inning. So we got a couple of games in the 3rd inning at this point for the Neozark League, and then a couple of games heading into the 8th and 9th innings, respectively. For the Sunny Day League. Oh, Doug Nutt got caught stealing 3rd base for the Ninjas. So they had a chance to score a run, but they got too aggressive and they get caught stealing. Chance for the Kings to walk it off here in the bottom of the 9th. Estrada will ground out, though. Harding's not exactly the easiest person in the world to get anything off of, so we'll have to see how this goes. Lindsey Felgate doubles in 2 runs for the Armadillos, and they take the 2-1 lead over the Frogs. The Armadillos come out in support of their starter, Chris Best. Ronald Acuna Jr. has hit a homer for the Cluckers, so him and Green have hit home runs as the Cluckers take a 3-1 lead. Well done for the Cluckers. They're looking for a good win right here as well in support of their number 2 starter, which I don't believe is Radborn. It might be Radborn, though. And there it is. Pablo Sanchez has hit a homer, his 2nd of the season. That gives the Ninjas the 4-3 lead in the top of the 10th. They will head to the bottom of the 10th as Ohtani homers for the Squirrels to bring that game within 1. It'll be our last-ditch chance for the Kings to be able to get this victory or not. They put a runner on first. Mick is over at first base. Sacrificed over by Mina. Chance to be able to score him from second base here. All they need is a single. It would disrupt Pablo Sanchez's clutch home run. They get him over to third on a ground out. 2 men down. Kaz Cappy, the last chance for the Kings to tie the game, and Kaz Cappy will walk, leaving it up to James. Runner on first and third, and they don't get anything. The Ninjas will take this one 4-3 in 10. As a couple other games have had advancements, Guerrero Jr.'s hit a 2-run homer for the Pioneers, as has Smondus Hounderson, a solo home run, as the Pioneers are now down 11-4 against the Captains. I don't see much happening, and nothing does happen, unfortunately, but a couple of runs given up there at the end, but the Captains will take their win 11-4 over the Pioneers. The Admirals got another run as well. They now lead the Frogs 3-1. We have a couple of games being played out at this point, a couple games left to play. Whoop, hello. There we go. And the Admirals get more runs on a Lindsey Felgate 2-run homer, giving them a 5-1 lead. So we are going to see a couple of teams at least still have winless seasons as we head forwards. The game against the Squirrels and Cluckers has been quite good. Homers by Tatis Jr., Ohtani, Acuna Jr., and Jay Green. Exactly who you'd expect to see sending home runs all over the place. And the Ninjas did steal that one. You are right, Dukeston. They absolutely stole that one. But then again, when you pitch to Pablo Sanchez in the 10th inning, I don't really know what you're expecting at this point. Frankie Holly doubles and Duke Silver have doubled, and that will give the Squirrels a 4-3 lead over the Cluckers here in the top of the 6th. Oof. Oh, and my gosh, there we go. Patrick Pigeon hits a 3-run homer in the top of the 6th to bring the Frogs within 1 of the Armadillos. So they are back to a 1-run game. Both of our live games are now a 1-run game at this point. Casey hits a homer for the Armadillos. It's back to a 2-run lead. A 2-run lead for the Armadillos as they are still finishing up the bottom of the 6th. The Cluckers are looking to score here in the bottom of the 6th, and a Fred Baker grand slam. Congratulations to the Cluckers on the grand slam. That's our second grand slam of the night, as Fred Baker hits this one, joining Paul Goldschmidt. And the Cluckers take a resounding 7-4 lead over the Squirrels. George Herman has hit a solo homer for the Cacti in their game against the Whistlers. A triple for Gabagool has scored 3 more, and it's now 10-4 Cluckers. They are unloading on the Squirrels at this point. A sacrifice fly will score Gabagool, and it's 11-4. They are still in the bottom of the 6th. Jay Green steals a base, but that's all they're going to get. Chris Jimenez has hit a solo home run for the Armadillos, and it's 7-4 in their favor at this point, as they are in the bottom of the 7th. Radbourne's done well for the Cluckers. He's given up 4 runs, but he's had a solid performance at this point, and we're very happy with how he's been. The rest of the league still shaping out at this point. Joe Krepp has grounded out. That scores meets. And it's a 3-0 lead for the Cacti at this point, as they're only in the 2nd inning. Brian Reynolds has singled for the Frogs. Chance for them to get something started here in the top of the 8th. Advanced on a wild pitch, and Holzman still trying to get the first out of the inning at this point. They'll get Zeke Anderson to strike out. A single will score Reynolds, though, as Peter Slammer's having a great day at this point. Ground into a fielder's choice for the second out, but it's still 5-7. Armadillos in favor still. Biff Cousteau has hit a homer for the Giants in their game against the Ducks. That's the one that's going to be down below the 2 on the left. There is a delay for the Barnyard game at this point between the Cluckers and the Squirrels. At this point, I would have just called it, but oh well, I guess we're not going to do that. A double for Doc Toro has scored 2 runs for the Whistlers, and they still are threatening here. But that'll be all they get, unfortunately. Doctoral was able to score 2, and the Whistlers will catch up a little bit. 3-2 is the lead now for the Cacti. Ray Skydonias hits a 2-run homer, and the Armadillos regain their 4-run lead over the Frogs, as it's now 9-5 as we'll head to the top of the 9th. Chance for the Armadillos to close this ball game out. Are they still going to go with Holzman at this point? They are, so they're not going to go with a different relief pitcher at this point. I don't know if that's the right choice. We will find out. Hugo lines out, however. Louis Davis is up next, I believe. Full count to him, and Lawrence Columbus Davis will strike out. Last chance for the Frogs here in the top of the 9th inning, as they try to get something started at this point, but they won't get anything. And Chris Best will move to a league best 2-0 record, tied for league best technically, as the Ducks get a homer from Rafael Devers to tie up their ball game. We are still delayed in the Cluckers Barnyard Park, unfortunately, guys. We will see if that game gets played by the end of tonight. I'm going to assume it's a rain delay, and we are back live in the game over there. Okay, good. So we will be seeing that game finishing up, as well as the other 2 games at this point. The Ducks and Giants are in the 4th inning, tied 1-1. Chance for the Giants to score some runs here. Delvecchio walks. And then, of course, the Cacti and Whistlers are 3-2 in the bottom of the 4th. Nothing doing for the Giants, unfortunately. It'll still be a 1-1 ball game as we move forward. And the Squirrels look to try to get some runs here in the top of the 7th. And Eric Kelly hits a 2-run homer for the Whistlers, as they will take a 4-3 lead over the Cacti. Wow, okay. A. Rose singles for the Ducks, scoring in field, and they'll take a 2-1 lead over the Giants. So a couple different scoring situations have resulted in both of our later games having some lead changes at this point. We're pretty much waiting for the Cluckers to close their game out at this point, as both of these other 2 games that are very, very close are going to continue going. Leo Wayne has stolen second base for the Giants. Chance for them to score the runner from second base at this point. Username unavailable has hit a homer for the Cacti to tie up the ball game in the top of the 5th. Congratulations to the Cacti fans out there. Bases loaded for the Giants, and they'll get a single to score 2. Runners on first and second still. That was Black Swordsman with the single to score Wayne and Ball at this point. They'll have a sacrifice fly and a walk, and the bases are loaded again for the Giants. Tony Delvecchio up next. 2 men down. Chance for Silverhand to get out of the inning. Exley hits a 2-run homer, and the Whistlers take the lead. Addison Bond hits a solo homer, and it's now 7-4. There was a balk, by the way. The Ducks, not the Cluckers this time, the Ducks do a balk, resembling their cousins, the Cluckers, and they will give a run for free to the Giants, as they will now take a 4-2 lead into the top of the 6th inning. Woof. So we have a 7-4 lead for the Whistlers as they are in the 6th inning. We're in the top of the 9th for the Squirrels and Cluckers game. That one's almost wrapping up here at this point. Garcia strikes out. Esther French is pitching here in the top of the 9th. We'll see if they can get anything started. Doesn't look like it. And the Cluckers should take this ball game. They will. 11-4 is the final. The Cluckers get, I believe, their first win of the regular season. Congratulations to them. And our final 2 games of the day, ladies and gentlemen, Neo's Arc and Sunny Day have 1 game apiece. The Giants lead 4-2. My apologies, my back is really, really sore. I don't know why. Must have slept weird last night. Oof. There we go. A little bit better. But the Whistlers have a 7-4 lead over the Cacti. Runner on third base, though. Boom Boom McBroom singled, but then Chesterfield grounds into a double play. There was a chance, there was a sliver of a chance for the Ducks to get something started there in the top of the 7th, and they just couldn't get it around, unfortunately. The Whistlers and Cacti are finishing up their top of the 7th as the bottom of the 7th comes around for the Giants and Ducks. That's Armando Lanites in to pitch for the Ducks at this point. A wild pitch puts runners on second and third, though. Big opportunity here for the Giants, and Kathy Wolf up to bat. She will ground out, scoring Soto on the fielder's choice. Oh, man, and the bases are loaded for the Cacti in the top of the 7th. They've pulled out the starter, and now Nancy Chin will be pitching here in the top of the 7th for the Whistlers. Keisha Phillips strikes out. They have 2 men down. Markhart's their last chance. 2 for 3 for the ball game so far is Markhart. Let's see if they can get anything from this bases loaded. They can't. Oh, man, the Cacti leave the bases loaded with only 1 man out, and they can't get anything. Ouch. Duck, McDuck singles for the Ducks in the top of the 8th with 2 men down, leaving it up to Devers. They would love a big bomb right here from Devers if they could get it, but he'll try it, but he'll fly out, unfortunately, and they'll head to the bottom of the 8th. I believe both ball clubs are into the 8th inning at this point officially. Tom Delgado in to pitch for the Ducks. He's had an interesting season so far. The Giants lead that ball game 5-2 after the fielder's choice scored the run from Kathy Wolf. Tom Delgado hits Leo Wayne. That seems quite fitting for Tom Delgado, unfortunately. And he hits Hitty Ball. Okay, but he'll get Juan Soto to ground out, so that's pretty good at this point. All right, we are going to the top of the 9th, the Ducks' last chance to be able to get anything from the Giants. Old McDonald, Bob as he is referred to as, in to pitch here in the top of the 9th inning. He pitched last inning for 1/3 of an inning. He gets the first person to strike out. Boom Boom McBroom is up next. By the way, Finnegan McGinnigan has hit a sacrifice fly scoring in meets for the Cacti. Chesterfield hits a solo homer, so they'll get within 2, but that's all she wrote. The Ducks will lose their ball game 5-3 to the Giants. The Cacti are trying to make some moves here in the top of the 9th. They got something in the 8th with McGinnigan's sacrifice fly. Keisha walks. This is the tying run at home plate. Nancy Chin gets Markhart to ground to a fielder's choice, and it's down to McBeam. McBeam can hit. He can hit home runs. Let's see what McBeam can do. 2-2 pitch. Nothing happening. The Whistlers take their end of the game and close it out. Flexing with the win. Owen with the loss. The Whistlers win 7-5. Yes, Tom Delgado is facing some interesting situations if you've been following along with the Discord. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is your live scores for the day. Those are all finished, which means our standings look like this. Both of our undefeated teams continue their tromping and stomping of their divisions. The Gnarly Goats took care of their opposing team, as did the Angry Admirals. We have 2 winless teams still officially in the league, and that is going to be the Knockout Kings and the Jolly Jazz. All right, if you would like to see your player at this point, if you want to see your player and how they have performed, we will open up requests for players at this point. We'll also go ahead and stop the simulation and finish the day. So, a very interesting day. The Dominating Ducks win their first game, lose their last 3, as have the Rebellious Reapers at this point. And then the Witty Whistlers lose their first game and have since won their last 3 games. So, a good performance from the Whistlers at this point. All right, Bowden is the first person to look up. So Joe Bowden had a 1-for-4, technically a 1-for-5 week. He was given the day off against the Admirals. They had somebody else, unless it was just 2 walks. 2 walks and probably got hit by a pitch at this point. So technically a 1-for-5 week for Bowden with 2 walks and a hit by pitch means he bats .385, .500, .385, for the regular season, and also had a stolen base in today's ball game. That was in their 12-0 victory over the Reapers. So a good game for the Apollos. Crip. We want to see Crip for the Clobbering Cacti. He had an 0-for-4 performance, but he had a much better performance yesterday against the Kings. He went 2-for-4 with a homer and a double. So batting .200, not the end of the deal or end of the world, as you're batting .600 on the slugging percentage. So Crip, I wouldn't say he's better than Mike Lowell, but he's close. So we'll see if he can keep this going and do well for the rest of the regular season. Mike Clark, also known as Iron Man, has been off and on. He's gotten a few hits here and there. He had a homer in yesterday's loss. But unfortunately, a lot of A lot of losses, unfortunately, at this point for Mike Clark and the Dominating Ducks. Just a lot of bad performances so far. But we'll see if that home run power can maybe have a resurgency. Plus, the fielding in the outfield has definitely helped the Dominating Ducks, as he is net positive in the outfield at this point. So you're looking at Mike Clark being probably one of the better right fielders out of all of the submitted players, at least. So that's a good sign. He is designed to be a fielder first, so that's a good sign that, even though he's batting 154, 214, 385, he has the 0.1 WAR. What's up with the player pictures? These are official backyard player, generic player, profile pictures that were from the Backyard Baseball video game. So we let all the submitted players pick a profile picture that they'd like to have. So every single player in the league that was submitted has different profile pictures, such as Silverhand has this one, Tom Delgado uses the exact same one, Lenitez uses this one, Rico Venezuela uses that one. So they're all custom for each player to choose what they would like to do. So Tom Delgado had a good performance today, finally, shaking off the really bad performance against the Squirrels back in game number 2. So week 2, favoring Delgado a little bit more. We'll see if that helps him get a little bit happier at this point. Someone wanted to see Duck Duck McDuck. Duck Duck McDuck had a 1-for-4 game, but unfortunately a 1-for-8 week. So not a good performance for Duck Duck McDuck, unfortunately. Couple of strikeouts to go along with a single, and a couple of losses for the Ducks. So the Ducks have a lot to come back from at this point. But otherwise, he's still batting .294 after his fantastic week 1. So we're still very happy with how Duck Duck McDuck performed in week number 1. Week 2, not so good. But we'll see how he does in week number 3. Bare necessities. Parakeet went 1-for-7 with a walk and a triple for week number 2 at this point. So not too bad. The fielding-oriented shortstop has been pretty decent for the Pioneers. Yeah, double play, no errors, 8 assists, a good range, and good zone rating right now, so not too bad. Has been above average at this point, and at a 0.1 WAR, you'll take that. You'll take that. Did Bob Royal get in today's game for the Ducks? I don't believe so. No. The first base backup infielder may be something the Ducks look into this week, because if the Ducks continue to lose, they have to make some changes. So this is someone they might very well be trying to slot in as a starter at this point to see if they can shake some stuff up. They'll probably be reviewing their batting averages and their player stats to see which person would be good to swap out for Stan Royal, because Stan Royal definitely could use some time at this point. A. Rose is fielding. So A. Rose is one of our best defending shortstops / second basemen, because the Dominating Ducks have got Stephanie Morgan over at shortstop. So unfortunately, they had to put A. Rose over at second, because you aren't going to be throwing Morgan out from shortstop at this point. Oh, that's right. They have McBroom, Rose, Devers, and Morgan, which makes it very hard for Royal to play at this point. But we'll see what they can do about that. 0.83 on the batting average for Rose, but that defense has been looking quite good. As the 0.5 zone rating, 1.153 efficiency. That's a good one. That's good. Making all the plays you should be, and only not being able to make the impossible plays. So that's good. That's a good sign right about there. Lefty Littles, the relief pitcher for the Clobbering Cacti, had one appearance today. He didn't appear in the game number 3, but he was in game number 4 for an innings of relief. Had a ground ball, fly ball, and I don't know what the last out would have been at that point. Line out, I guess? But Littles had a good performance, keeps the ERA down in the 0.00 range at this point, and he has 3 strikeouts to boot for all of his performances, and a 0.1 WAR, so Littles has been very good for the Clobbering Cacti when he's been needed. Brenda Marquardt, the catcher for the Cacti. has had a fairly good season so far, had a much better Game 3, did okay in Game number 4, has brought the batting average up to 294, doesn't walk a whole lot, unfortunately, which is kind of a shame, but also doesn't really strike out that often either. So it's been a good season for Marquardt at this point, 123 on the OPS+, plus, good defense around the infield and outfield. She has been... Let's check her fielding really fast here. She's been efficient behind the plate. She's caught everybody who's been trying to steal on her. That's impressive. That's extremely impressive. Wow. 5 people have tried to steal on Marquardt, and 5 have gone back to the dugout. So that's impressive. So Marquardt definitely helping the Cacti's chances to win, at least as a catcher versus being a relief pitcher, which she was drafted to be. So maybe a good move for the Cacti, even though they are 2-2 after week number 2. Bubba Ray Jones, the 8, stole a bag. He did steal a bag. That 56 stealing was just enough for him to find a golden opportunity and take it. So Bubba Ray Jones, the 8th, has had a stolen base. He's only tried the one time, so 100% accuracy on your submissions stealing chances at this point. Anybody else that we want to do? Finnegan. People want to see Finnegan begin again. Another Cacti player at this point. He had a very good week number 2. Ended up going 6 for 9 with a home run and 5 singles. 2 RBIs, brought the batting average up to 444. 421 on the OBP. That's impressive that he has been so bad. The OBP is worse. 2 for 2 on the strikeouts, though. He's a little bit too aggressive on the stealing measures at this point. But you definitely like the 0.2 WAR for the second baseman for the Cacti. Does anyone have more hits without RBIs than Danger? Dean Danger has no RBIs and 6 hits. I don't know if anybody is even close to 6 hits, no RBIs. Let's find out. So 0 RBIs. Dean Danger is leading the league with the most amount of hits and no RBIs. Also, I guess on the same boat, Benjamin Mayhew does technically have 6 hits and no RBIs at this point. So I guess that also would be the case. But outside of that, you're looking at Duck Duck McDuck with 5 hits at this point. And then Sangstaz, St. Louis, and Unknown with 5 as well. And they'll go down from there. Harper. Bam Bam Harper has had a very poor season so far. Lots of strikeouts and not much contact. Well, no, lots of contact, just not a whole lot of hits, unfortunately. Only had a 1 for 8 performance. Did score once in his game against the Coyotes, but the Nobles did win. So you know what? They'll take the victory, even if Harper's not on his best of abilities right now at this point. So we'll see how that goes for Bryce Harper down the road. The Nobles could really use him and a couple other players to get really hot right at this point. You then strike out more when you have 34 avoid Ks. Yeah, you do strike out a lot, unfortunately, when you have 34 avoid K. Right up there with Mikey Thomas on strikeouts, I believe. Yep, 32 scheduled strikeouts for Mikey Thomas as he has a 24 avoid Ks, but he is expected to hit 9 home runs, so that's what you want to see from your number 4 slugger and very good catcher at this point. Beamer Bird. Playing for the Rebellious Reapers, Beamer Bird has only had 2 hits. He did get a double and 3 walks over the course of this week, so he didn't do too bad, but the Reapers as a whole have had a tough season so far, so we'll see how that goes down the road, but Beamer Bird does have a, excuse me, a somewhat good, somewhat bad performance for this week, for week number 2. We'll see what they want to do with him in the lineup, and if they want to move him around at all, moving forwards. Pete Wheeler. Pete Wheeler had one of the best games of the, one of the best performances of the week, or at least for game number 2 at this point, as he went 3 for 5 with a homer, a triple, and a single against the Reapers. That was in the Apollo's 12-0 victory over the Reapers. He had another stolen base to boot. He now has 4, and he had 6 RBIs in the game. That brought his total of RBIs up to 6, as he's now batting .286, .412, and a 0.3 WAR, as he has been also flawless in the outfield. He almost made the semi-impossible or extremely unlikely play. He's had a couple of plays he's missed, but he's made almost everything else. So we'll see if he gets those back around and if he can do well. Who is the league leader in walks for hitters? If you're looking for walks for hitters, that is going to be... Where are they? They should have been very close to the top, right? Hits, runs, doubles, triples. Where are my walks? There they are. Juan Soto has 6. Matt Olson has 5. And then Roman Ade, Kaz Cappy, and Willie Hayes, I believe, all have 4. So Soto continues to be just an absolute monster for the Graceful Giants. He makes them have a chance to win every single day. 0.6 WAR, a homer, a double, 7 hits, 6 walks. Makes his OBP 684 at this point. And yes, I believe you're right. I believe Tim Tebow is still the K's leader for the league at 11, as he had 4 more for the week at this point, as he had 7 in week number 1. So Tim Tebow continues to be all or nothing when it comes to hitting homers or striking out and potentially walking. So we'll see what happens with Tim Tebow down the road. And then someone wanted to see Swordsman. Black Swordsman had a good day in fact, he had a good week for the Giants at this point. Brought his batting average back up to 250, had 4 RBIs over the course of the week at this point. And he helped the Giants take 2 victories from the Coyotes and the Ducks this week. So, struggler. Not exactly struggling, I would say. He had a 2-run homer, I believe, in the Coyotes game. And then I believe he had a 2-run single against the Ducks. So he's had a good performance so far for the regular season. So congratulations to the person who put down Black Swordsman. Otherwise, looking around the league at this point, guys, again, the Angry Admirals and Gnarly Goats are the only teams left in the undefeated categories. We will talk about their games to face up against for next week. And at this point, Juan Soto leads the Neos Arc League with a .538 batting average. Tom Warner leads the Sunny Day League at .533. For the home runs, we have a whole bunch of people at 3 at this point. A whole bunch of people at 3. We did check on Pete Wheeler, actually. Pete Wheeler was reviewed. Let me see if I can find him really fast. He's on the Apollos. Pete Wheeler had a very good day. He did not have a great week, but he did have a good day at this point. And he had a 3-for-5 performance, a triple homer, and a single. Almost hit for the cycle against the Reapers and brought the batting average back up to almost 300. So Pete Wheeler looking pretty good at this point. Oh, there it is. That's what I was looking for right there. And had another stolen base to boot at this point. But yes, he still does not lead the league with 4. He's tied for the league at 4 at this point. So, question someone else had in here in the chat. One, what is next week's schedule? What teams will face against which? Let's go ahead and find out, guys. Let's advance on down the road, and let's go ahead and see what the next week's games are going to look like. Starting off with the Aces, this is going to be the game we stream on Friday. All of our games on Friday are going to look something like this. The Armadillos are going to play against the Giants next week. The Squirrels and Koalas face off against each other. The Cluckers and Frogs will square off against each other as well. The Nobles and Ducks over on the other side of the area there. And then the Goats and the Coyotes are going to play. That's going to be a fun matchup right about there. What's going to be even more fun is probably this one right here. The Armadillos and Graceful Giants, to see who wants to move to 4-1. A lot of similar record matchups, except for the Goats-Coyotes game at this point. We're also looking at the Apollos and Kings heading down into the Sunny Day League area. It'll be Abendut versus Springsteen. That'll be a fun matchup right about there. The Cacti and Captains are going to go at it. That's going to be Gross and Del Vecchio. Del Vecchio looking for a bounce back after her Game 2 disaster. And then Jacob deGrom, still looking for his first win of the season, will have the Rebellious Reapers to go up against at this point. That should be a good chance for deGrom to take a win. Kenny Kawaguchi And the Witty Whistlers will go up against Sydney Weber and the Nimble Ninjas next Friday. And then our last game of the day at that point would be Bully McGuire looking to take the Angry Admirals to 5-0 as they play against the Pleasant Pioneers and Maria Luna. Oh boy, that's going to be a tough matchup. Maria Luna has been flawless so far this regular season. 1 run given up on 8 hits, 2 walks, 17 strikeouts. She has been absolutely untouchable. I agree, EVC. She has been absolutely untouchable by most ball clubs. Now, again, that was the Ninjas and the Jazz, and both of those 2 clubs have not exactly had great seasons so far, but oof. That's going to be a fun matchup between 2 of the best pitchers in the Sunny Day League, Maria Luna and, of course, Bully McGuire. All right, guys, I think that's about going to wrap us up for today. I will get all of these files uploaded for you guys to be able to review everything about the league. There are also probably going to be some posts in the Backyard Project as soon as I'm done here, and we'll make sure everything gets updated, and you guys will be able to see all of the action and all the stuff for next week. One last thing before we end the stream, guys. Patrick Pigeon has gotten Player of the Week awards for the Neos Arc League. I will post that in Neos Arc and also in the Friendly Frogs channel for the Discord if it's not already there. So you guys can do all you want with that information. And then on top of that, the Sunny Day Player of the League, or Player of the Week, was Tom Warner. Congratulations to both of those players at this point. Is that a standard D-backs hat? I believe it is. I believe it is the standard one at this point. We do call him Pop Warner at this point. So, a good day for Warner and Pigeon, as they're able to take Player of the Week awards at this point. And we're not going to worry about the rookie batting leaders because it doesn't include pro players, but that's all of our submitted generic and backyard players looking to look into the rookie into the rookie listings there. My apologies. These are your power rankings. The Admirals and Goats have taken first and second at the 188 mark. The Witty Whistlers are third with the Giants coming in at fourth at this point. The Apollos are going to be tied for fifth with the Astounding Armadillos and the Courageous Captains. Yeah, I'm surprised the Apollos are at fifth, but we'll see what happens to them. They've had a very strong team, although I think they did. Didn't they lose a game this week? Yeah, they lost 1 game this week, I believe, to the Admirals. That was their 2-4 loss. Otherwise, they would be probably right up there with the Giants and Whistlers in the 3rd and 4th placement. I'll be posting about this in the Discord, guys, as well, so you'll be able to get that all you want. And then, of course, on top of all that, the Ninjas and the Clobbering Cacti, Kind Koalas, Pleasant Pioneers, Super Squirrels, Coyotes, Cluckers, Nobles, Friendly Frogs, the Ducks, the Reapers, and then last but not least, the Jolly Jazz and the Knockout Kings still looking for their first wins of the regular season. Not a good sign for both of them. All right, guys, that is going to do us for the Backyard Project this Saturday. Sorry for the shorter stream, but I also do appreciate that we got through everything fairly quickly, and we're doing pretty well so far. I'm very happy with the way it's going so far. We'll see how this goes down the road with more of these games and more of these simulations, and we'll see just how many homers and stolen bases and all that other stuff we can do. Do we have any comment regarding the lawsuits against Tom Delgado? Technically, it's not league required for us to talk about a personal matter with Tom Delgado. That's on him to talk about. If he wants to bring it up, that's fine, but, you know, we don't have a players union in the Backyard Project, so we don't have to make comments, and there's no, like, organization that's going to make comments about player incidents. You know, on and off the field, that's on you. If it's something regarding baseball, that's on us. So, Tom Delgado, that's all about him. We don't really have a comment because we just want him to work on it. I guess that would be our comment is, work on it, Tom. Work on it. Do we need to unionize? Oh, I'm certain that Eucharin is perking up about that idea. So, anywho, guys, thank you so much for being here for the stream, for the Backyard Project, and all the support that you guys do. We will see you all next Friday on my personal channel, and then next Saturday, back here on the OOTP channel. Have a great rest of your weekends, everybody. I will talk to you all next week.